Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. So ironically, the name of this podcast is Putting an End to Procrastination, and it was inspired because I am currently recording this episode on Sunday, April 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you don't know, my episodes get released on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at midnight. I do not have anything batch recorded. The guest interviews, often they keep me on a schedule, right? So those are things that are pre-recorded and they come out every Wednesday. But the solo episodes that I release on Mondays and Fridays, I still have not come up with a system. I'm not disciplined enough with recording, and that is why I'm doing it last minute. So I wanted to talk about, I'm trying to give myself my own pep talk right now, but it made me reflect on the other things in my life that I used to procrastinate on, that I've stopped procrastinating on, and it's been really, really helpful for me in my health and wellness journey. And so I wanted to kind of share with you why and how to put an end to procrastination. So although I'm not perfect, I'm currently working on putting an end to this one. I'm reminded right now that, listen, better late than never, honestly, and we're gonna learn that in today's episode. Better late than never. At the same time, the last thing I really wanted to do right now was record a podcast. It's literally the last thing I wanted to do, but I'm also committed to you guys. I'm committed to my mission. I'm committed to giving as much content as I possibly can, and I felt called to talk about this, I guess. So at the same time, I wish I could have, continued to just relax, watch some TV, go to bed early, start the day fresh. I can still do that, but first I need to record this. So obviously, if I would have accomplished this earlier, I would not be toying with myself all day long, so annoyed. I'm like, I gotta record an episode. And it would just, I could have enjoyed my day so much more. So I remember when I was younger, and I always knew that I loved the way that I felt when I finished a workout. I loved exercise, but I also pushed it off, and I know you guys can relate to me right now. So I would spend every single day for probably the better part of 5 years telling myself, probably longer, honestly, now that I reflect on it, I'll work out in the morning. I'll try to set my alarm, get the workout in. Then it wouldn't happen. I would go to work, I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll go on my lunch break. Wouldn't happen. Right when I get home, no, wouldn't happen. And I would just push it. And then, you know what would end up happening? Sometimes, or most of the time, I would end up exercising in the evenings, and then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep, and it was this vicious cycle. And I would start my workout and then be like, oh crap, I gotta go. I would push if I was say it was a Friday night, for example, and I knew I was meeting my friends at 9:00, I would push my workout until maybe 8:30, and then be like, well, obviously, I'm meeting my friends in 20 minutes. I have to stop working out, forgetting that I absolutely loved the way that I felt when I would work out. And I would always ask myself, why did I wait? Why didn't I just do this before? I love the way that I feel. Why am I, so pushing this back when I know that I feel good when I do it? And I know some people who are listening to this podcast, you might be in school, you might, your job requires you to get things done at having certain deadlines, and it's just crazy. I think we just work under pressure for sure, but at the same time, you'll feel so much better if you take a look at what you have to do and you put a fake deadline on your calendar. So if something is due on April 23rd, pretend it's due on April 20th. So that way, it's completed, and then all you have to do on April 23rd is remember to hit submit or do quick edits, or honestly, maybe you just submit it even earlier and you're like, okay, it's done. Great. You will feel so much better. So a couple things that I think will be helpful for you if you're someone who procrastinates, whether it's with schoolwork, whether it's with, if you're a teacher and you do grading, whether it's a work deadline, whether it's with your workout, maybe it's meal prep and then you end up not doing it, or you finally do it, but then now you got to clean the kitchen and then you're up later. Like you have to ask yourself is, when do I feel my best? I feel my best when I'm eating balanced and I'm moving my body. Okay, so why push that off? If we know that's what makes you feel good, let's be proactive about it. Let's get up in the morning, get the workout over with, or whatever time it's convenient for you to do it in your day, schedule it. And when that time comes that you've decided it's the time to work out, regardless of how you feel, in that moment, you got to push. So if it's really, you've been working out, really, really hard for a few days, this is different. This is a different conversation. So this conversation is not for the person who might be over-exercising and going a little bit too much with the workouts. This is for the person who's struggling to really get started or even stay consistent. Okay, so I think it's super helpful when you schedule it and give yourself a realistic time, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Don't give yourself more than an hour though, because sometimes that's what happens. Your brain is like, oh, I have more time. Or like, oh my God, I don't want to work out for over an hour. That's so much. So you push it back. But you always feel good when you finish it. So all you have to do is start. I've shared this before. I read the book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and it's one of my absolute favorites. And Mel Robbins gives this strategy where she talks about how to count backwards from 5 when you don't feel like doing something. So I actually incorporated it mostly for me getting up out of my bed in the mornings, and that's what actually helped me start my morning workouts. So it wasn't that I didn't want to start my workouts. Once I was up, I did want to start them. The problem was getting up out of the bed. So I would leave my phone across the room. I would set the alarm. I would go to bed at a decent hour. And then when the alarm would go off, I would count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'd jump out of the bed, turn the alarm off, go brush my teeth, all that stuff, get up, and I'd be ready to go. And then I would do my workout. And I lived that way for a really, really long time. So for you, regardless if it's in the morning, regardless if it's in the middle of the day, whenever you told yourself that you were going to do it, say to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just start. Getting started is the hardest part. Once you start, chances are you're not going to want to stop. But even if you decided to work out for 5 or 10 minutes and then stop, you still did something. And in the beginning stages, when you're trying to commit to something sustainable, something is better than nothing. So even if you prepare just quote unquote, and I hate to use the word just because it's something, but like just the veggies or just the protein. So maybe you didn't get to prepare your whole week's worth of meals. You still did something. It still got your brain somewhere, and it's still going to make a difference, and it's going to make an impact. So the best thing that I think you can do is really try to look at your week and schedule the things like your workouts, schedule the things like your meal prep, schedule the things when you're going to do your homework, when you're going to study, when you're going to submit this assignment. And when you do that, if it's something that you can accomplish sooner rather than later, right? You can't schedule a workout for Tuesday and then it's Monday and you're that doesn't make sense. But if it's something like for me, recording a podcast that I know goes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I need to do better. This is my own personal commitment. I'm speaking it out loud. I'm going to figure it out this week, but I'm moving next week. So I definitely have to just batch record. When my brain tells me, oh, you know what, just record one episode, it's okay, you can record again tomorrow, I need to remember that that is a lie, that I need to record 2 to 3 episodes at a time when I choose to record, because that is the only way that they're going to come out, and they're not going to be last minute. Although I'm kind of liking this episode, so sometimes that, once again, that pressure really works. So that's why it's funny, because procrastination can be helpful. I mean, not procrastination. Well, yeah, waiting to the last minute, I guess, can be helpful. It puts that pressure, but it's also the amount of just turmoil I gave myself. Honestly, it wasn't even just today, guys, even yesterday, because I wanted to not wait till last minute, because my podcast guy, he's amazing. Shout out to Josh. He edits them. He puts the little music on the beginning, in the end. He makes sure the sound's good. Poor guy. If you guys don't get this at exactly midnight, which hopefully none of you are listening to this at midnight, but people listen from all over the world. So the point is, please don't be upset. And it's not his fault. It is totally on me. But with that said, we tend to push things off that we know are what's best for us. So do the thing that you know is what's best for you, and do it sooner rather than later if you can. You're going to feel so much better in the long run. All right, guys, that is it for me today about putting an end to procrastination. I wanted to quickly also just share, unfortunately, there's like a glitch going on my website, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. So if you applied to join this 6-month coaching program where you're working with me, or right now actually it'd be with another dietitian on my team, Casey or Mary Rose, and you are trying to work with us, I should just say it like that. If you're trying to work with us and you applied and you have not heard back from me, it's because I didn't get it. And I don't know why this is happening. It's the worst timing in the world. But if you applied, I want you to try to apply again. So if you applied on your phone, there's no reason behind it. We're still trying to figure it out. It literally doesn't make sense. Some people apply on their phone and I don't get it. So I tell them to apply on the computer, and then I see it. And then I see their application. Other people fill out it on the computer. They tell me they applied. I don't see it. I tell them to go on their phone and it goes through. So I can't quite figure out why this is happening, but please, if you applied, apply again. And I'm so sorry because I know how much effort, energy, and just like every ounce of your being to ask for help, how difficult that is. So I'm really sorry that if you applied and I didn't respond or I didn't get it and you have to apply again, I'm so sorry. Apply again, but using a different method. So if you applied on your phone, apply on the computer. If you applied on the computer, apply on your phone, okay? And then when you do that, message me either on Instagram at tips_with_Tony, that's Tony with an I, or email me tipswithtony@gmail.com and just tell me that you did. And I will let you know if I got it, and hopefully you won't have to apply again. If you're like, Tony, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I have been wanting to work with you, and I'm really looking forward to learning from you and your team, well, then go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching, watch the video about our program, fill out the application below it, and then message me and let me know that you filled out an application just to make sure that it went through. General rule of thumb, I check my email every day. I know it's probably, I should probably take a day off, but I do check my email every day. So if it's been 24 hours and you have not heard from me, it means 99% of the time I did not see it. I did not get it. So I really apologize for if this has caused any inconvenience. I have a meeting tomorrow, literally tomorrow, because hopefully, I don't know if you're listening to this on the day that it goes out, but I have a meeting tomorrow with some tech people to help me figure out why is this happening? And I'm so sorry. I hope it hasn't been happening for a long time. It seems like it's been happening more recently, but there's potential that this could have been happening for a while, and I don't even know. So anyways, I'm getting back into the bottom of that. So anyways, if you're interested in learning how to put an end to procrastination when it comes to your workouts, your meal prep, your self-care, all the things that you know you need to do for you, setting boundaries, doing following through on your commitments to yourself, then I highly recommend applying to our 6 months to 6 months to food freedom coaching program to really help you get to the root of you getting out of your own way and healing your relationship with food, finding balance in your eating habits, and following through on your commitments, most importantly. All right, so go to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching to apply, and then don't forget to email me, tipswithtony@gmail, or message me on Instagram that you submitted an application. All right, thank you so much for listening. As always, this is Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.